Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this special session by Genius Academy. Here we are going to discuss about budget which was released on 1st February. So let's look at about Union Budget of India. First of all, we are going to look at a history of Indian budget. First budget was passed in 1860 by James Wilson under British rule. In 1924, budget for railway, separate budget for railway is introduced. In 1947, first budget of independence India, which is presented by R.K. Sanmukhyam Chetty. 1950, first budget of Republic India was introduced by John Mathai. So don't get confused between this first budget of independent India and first budget of Republic India, because once India became Republic in 1950, it is represented by John Mathai. After that, in 1957, first introduction of 5-year plan. It is focused on planned economic development in budget. So, and in 1991, economic reforms was introduced in budget, which is presented by our former Prime Minister Dr. Manmohan Singh. In 2017, railway and union budget was merged since 1924. We saw that in 1924, due to the length of railway budget is so high, huge, so it was separated. But in 2017, under the Prime Ministership of Mr. Narendra Modi, it get merged. First paperless budget was introduced in 2021 by Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman. So now let's look at some of the MCQs based on budget on the information we have seen earlier. First, which finance minister presented the first union budget of Republic of India in 1951 and 52? It is John Mathai. Don't get confused with R.K. Sanmukhyam Chetty. First, independent India budget was introduced by them. But here it is talking about Republic India. So it's John Mathai. In which year was the Planning Commission established through the Union Budget? It's in 1951. So let's look at next question. Who introduced wealth tax in Union Budget in 1957 and 58? It is T.T. Krishnamacharya. Planning Commission was replaced by which institution in 2015? It is Niti Aayog, under the Prime Ministership of Mr. Narendra Modi. Which finance minister introduced the self-assessment system for excise duty in 1968? It is introduced by Morarji Desai. Minimum alternative tax was introduced in budget during which year? It is introduced in 1987. So, which budget is known as epochal budget of India? It's 1991 budget. Why it is known as epochal budget? Because this budget changed the entire scenario of Union Budget of India. Before 1991 and during 1991, India is facing a severe financial crisis. Under this budget, Dr. Manmohan Singh bring LPG reform, which led to growth, increment. So it change the growth structure of Indian economy totally. So it is known as epochal budget, and it is introduced in 1991. Which major financial institution was established through the 1993-94 Union Budget? It is National Stock Exchange. Okay. So these are the questions which could be formed in your prelims exam. In which Union Budget was service tax introduced? It is in 1994 and 95. So look at next question. Why was 1997 budget was called dream budget? Why? What it could be dream? So by seeing this option we can identify. It abolished the income tax system. It's impossible. It introduced the GST. Not. GST is introduced in 2017. It announced India's economic liberation. It is in 1991. So it reduced tax and significantly and boosted tax collection. This scenario is like dream state. So it is known as dream budget. So 1997 budget is known as dream budget. Why? Because it reduced tax rates significantly and boosted tax collection. Now, in which budget was the separate railway budget merged with the general budget? So it's in 2017. We already saw. The first ever paperless union budget presented in which year? It's in 2021. During Corona, there is all digital mode, means government is converting every document into digital mode. So government also introduced budget into digital form. 2022 budget focused on which major theme? 2022 budget focused on which major theme? It's digital technology and economic recovery. 2024 Union budget focused on which key priority? It is A, skilling, employment, MSME and Viksit Bharat. Viksit Bharat is the major priority of this 2025 budget also. So now look at what is budget. Budget is the estimate of all receipt and expenditure of Government of India for the future financial year. What it means? गवर्नमेंट के सारी इनकम एंड सारी एक्सपेंडिचर का जो एक फाइनेंशियल डॉक्यूमेंट्स होता है उसे हम बजट बोलते हैं. अंडर आर्टिकल 265 नो टैक्स शैल बी लेव्ड एंड कलेक्टेड एक्सेप्ट बाय द अथॉरिटी ऑफ लॉ. मतलब गवर्नमेंट बिना पार्लियामेंट की मंजूरी के कोई भी टैक्स ना लागू कर सकती है, ना अपोज कर सकती है, ना चेंज कर सकती है. सो what government do to introduce tax? It take permission from parliament. So for that financial bill is introduced. Financial bill is introduced by the government in parliament or at Lok Sabha. It will get passed and it will become act, and after that government can impose, change or make whatever change it want to make in taxes. So let's see article 266. No expenditure can be incurred except with the authorization of the legislature. Government can't see there is consolidated fund of India, जिसे हम सरकार की तिजोरी भी कह सकते हैं. सरकार उससे पैसा जब तक नहीं निकाल सकती है, खर्च नहीं कर सकती जब तक उसको पार्लियामेंट की अथॉरिटी ना मिल जाए. फॉर दैट व्हाट गवर्नमेंट यूज्ड टू डू? गवर्नमेंट ब्रिंग अप्रोप्रिएशन बिल. Appropriation bill. Once this bill can be passed, so it will give authority to government to pass to take money out from consolidated fund of India. Let's see the procedure of budget. There are 6 processes by which budget get passed. Okay, budget was introduced by finance minister on 1st Feb. It will cover whole 1 year, all expenditure and receipt of Government of India. So see first process, budget presented. When budget is presented by finance minister in Lok Sabha, there will be no discussion, no interruption during the speech. So there will be no discussion in this stage. After, there will be general discussion. During general discussion happened at both the houses, either in Lok Sabha and Rajya Sabha also. Budget will be discussed in both the houses. After that discussion, house will get adjourned. It will get break, and after getting break, in next stage there will be voting process. Vote on demand for grants. Member of Lok Sabha, member of Rajya Sabha are not able to vote on this grant. Member of Lok Sabha have this power to member of Lok Sabha have power to give voting on the grants. So during voting on demand for grants, there will be process in which departmental related standing committees are formed, and there are 24 committees are there whose work is to prepare allocation of budget for the particular ministries. Every committee have 5 ministry under it, and there is total 100 ministries. Okay, so they used to prepare budget for them, and after that there will be voting in the Lok Sabha. Rajya Sabha is not participate in voting. So the next process is appropriation bill. This bill is brought by the government. We already saw what the work of this bill. It gives permission to government to take out money from consolidated fund of India. After that, there will be financial bill, which will be introduced by government. What it aims? It aims to change the tax structure or impose any new tax or change any form of tax. So these both bill are known as money bill. And what is money bill? Money bill is that bill which is not voted in Rajya Sabha. Once Lok Sabha pass the bill, it will go to Rajya Sabha, and Rajya Sabha have 14 days to discuss on that particular bill. After 14 days, it will directly consider as to pass. Okay, Rajya Sabha can give recommendation to Lok Sabha either to accept that recommendation or not. It will be depend on Lok Sabha. So there is not major role of Rajya Sabha in that sense. Let's look the classification of budget. Budget are of two types: revenue budget and capital budget. Under revenue budget, there are receipts and expenditure. Receipt is the income of government, and expenditure is the expense government do. Okay, so what are revenue receipt? Revenue receipt neither create liability nor reduce asset. What does it mean? Liability means अगर हम किसी से कर्जा लेते हैं तो ये हम liable है उसे पे बैक करने के लिए. Nor reduce assets. Assets which government have just like money or factories, industries, this and infrastructure, these are assets of government. So these are divided into two types, tax and non-tax. Income of government in tax form. First one is direct tax and another one is indirect tax. For example, GST. After that, another one is non-tax by selling goods and goods and service. Just like government used to release India yearbook, or government is providing any services which it will get charged, so it will cover under non-tax. Dividend and profit. Dividend, if any insurance company or any share market, if any company got profit, so the tax it will pay to the government, it is known as dividend. So it will come into receipt, and under receipt it will cover into non-tax. Interest and interest received. Whenever government give loan, and on that loan it will receive some interest, so it will cover in that. Grants. So when government, Indian government give grants to states, but here what it means, grants taken by government. Government take grants from World Bank or Asian Development Bank, or any country gave grant. If any natural calamities happen, then any country come for support and give grant to India, so it will come under this. Next, expenditure. It neither create asset nor reduce liability. ना ये एसेट बनाएगी गवर्नमेंट के लिए और ना उसकी लाइबिलिटीज रिड्यूस करेगी. सो इंटरेस्ट पेड ऑन लोन, if any interest is paid, it will come under this. Grant given. If government give any grant to any state in any particular natural calamities, or for if in, we can see that Palestine, okay, so government is providing aid in form of food and everything, so it will be come under this. Subsidies, defense and pensions. These are the expenditure of government which will come under revenue budget, and these are the receipt which will come under revenue budget. Next, look at capital budget. So capital receipt and capital expenditure. What is capital receipt? It create liability and reduce asset. Create liabilities means government have to pay back. ओके, गवर्नमेंट ये एक तरह से उधार है जो गवर्नमेंट को बाद में रिटर्न करना ही है. एंड रेड्यूस एसेट, अगर गवर्नमेंट पे नहीं कर पाए, अगर हम कुछ पे नहीं कर पाए, हमारे पास पैसे नहीं है, तो हम कुछ बेच करके हमारा सामान और हम पे करेंगे, तो इससे हमारा एसेट भी होगा. इसी तरह से गवर्नमेंट का जो एसेट गवर्नमेंट सेल करती है उसे इससे रिड्यूस होता है एसेट्स. सो इट विल बी डेबिट एंड नॉन डेबिट. It's debt and it's internal debt and external debt. Government take debt from within the nation, okay, just from any bank, from any businessman, or from any institution. It will be internal. External, government taking loan from any country or any international institution, just like World Bank, Asian Development Bank, it will be covered under external. Indian government have more debt in internal debt. Okay, Indian government took more loan in internal form. So like this question are there in UPSC. So next see non-debt. Non-debt means disinvestment. What does it means? To sell something which is already of government. Means if government sell any private sector limited factory to any private or any individual or any businessman, and if in technical word, if we will see, if government have 100% share in any company, but after that after selling 51%, when it will remain with 49%, then it will be disinvestment. Next, loan recover. When government recover loans, okay, it will come under receipt of capital budget. Let's look at capital expenditure. It will create asset and reduce liability. So loan given to any particular state, loan given particular any institution or any foreign country, it is come under expenditure of capital expenditure of government of India. Capital asset or investment. If government give money for any capital investment, what does it means? By giving money to create asset for the long term, just like infrastructure, building road or building any industry, it will be like capital infrastructure, because it will give long term profit to government. So those are capital expenditure. So now we are going to look at Indian budget, which was released on 1st of February. वो थोड़ा ओपन करना है नोट में.